So today we're going to be turning old sprinkler pipe into bamboo. It's a little windy, I don't know how the sound is going to come out, but we're going to take Schedule 40 pipe and we're just going to turn it into bamboo, and here's how we're going to do it. First thing I'm going to do is just cut off the pipe that I want. I'm just going to take, and this is just 1-inch pipe, you can really do it with anything, but I'm just going to maybe cut this. Yeah, I'm going to have to edit this part out. What in the... Oh! Maybe cut this.
You're still filming.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. You just keep going. Oh my holy crap! All right, here we go. Now that we have the pipe, we're going to throw away what we're not going to use, and we're just going to take this. And you can see it's a big mess. It's got letters and numbers on it, all the schedule information. You don't need any of that, so we're going to use acetone to take it off. All right, so I've just got some acetone here. It's just regular acetone and a rag. And I'm just going to put some acetone on the rag. Please not near any open flames. And the acetone just really just takes, you can see the lettering, and it just, the acetone just wipes that lettering right off. It's super easy. See that? And it also does a great job, cleaning it all up. So and it doesn't have to be super clean to do this. It's okay if it's scarred up and marred up, because that actually helps the natural look of the bamboo. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna use heat, and we're gonna add some of the bumps and some of the scoring to the outside. Now come close to look at this. I don't know if you can see these big scratches. These big scratches are what make the bamboo look legitimate. And this is a bad shellac job, but anyway, you can kind of see just the benefit of all these little scratches all over the place. And then we're gonna also score right where the folds are gonna be, and that's gonna make the folds actually look a little bit more realistic. And so that's what we're gonna do next. So what I have here is just file, just regular file. It's got the rough side and the smooth side and whatever else. I'm just gonna take these rough edges and I'm just gonna score that up. And the more random, the better. You want them to be more random because God didn't make bamboo look perfect. And so you just kind of score that up, and you can see that I'm cutting off big pieces of bamboo here. And I'm just using the thick, heavy parts of the file to just make some deep scores in it. And the deeper the better, I say. And you just kind of make sure that the whole thing has some scores and cuts, and you can kind of see that I don't know if you can zoom in on that, but you can see that I've just really kind of messed this up pretty good. So that's good enough. I just want a couple of big scores in it, and I just want it to give the grain look of the bamboo. Okay? Just taking the fine side of the file, and I'm just kind of whacking off these long, spindly pieces that are left over from my scoring the bamboo. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, and since this is a really short piece, and it's really just for tutorial purposes, I'm just gonna put two of the little knuckles in the bamboo. So I'm gonna take my cutters, and I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna say, I don't want them even, because even is dumb. And so now I'm just gonna kind of carve in here, and you can see I'm just kind of going back and forth at random, and I'm just scoring that thing up. So there's the top one. I'm gonna do another one down here, and I don't want it equal distance from the end, so I'm just gonna kind of put it there. And I go all the way around once, and then I kind of go up and down and back and forth. And that's scoring that. Okay, so you can see I've got it scored in a couple of places randomly. Should be random. This one's just, 4 or 5 inches from the end. This one's like 7 inches, 8 inches. But you can see I've roughed it up pretty good, and I've scored it up pretty good. And it's Schedule 40, it's pretty thick, so you're not gonna go all the way through, and it won't matter if you do, because you're gonna meld it all back together anyway. Now, just as a point, when I first did this, we used a blowtorch, and I've seen this a lot on YouTube. And when people use a blowtorch, it gives it too much of a scorched look, I think. This side over here is much cleaner. It looks much more like natural bamboo, I think. Right now we're going to use the heat gun to make the knuckles in the bamboo. So now I'm using a heat gun, and I just turn the heat gun on. You don't want to do this around anything flammable, obviously. And PVC, when you heat PVC up like this, or when you burn PVC, it gives off a gas. You want to be careful not to be sucking that gas in, because it's not good. So what we do, and I need to get in a better position here. So what we do is we just kind of heat this thing up, and you can kind of see the PVC starting to peel back all of the places where we've done the scratching. And the heat gun does scorch it a little bit. So you can see it's starting to discolor the PVC a little bit. And you want to do it right over where you did your knuckles. You can see that PVC is getting real soft. And I'm just going slower and slower and slower. And it just adds a natural scoring. Okay, now I'm to the point where I can start to pull the PVC apart. See, I can pull it apart a little bit. You want to pull that PVC apart, just like that. And then you want to push it together just a little bit, just to form that knuckle. And then you kind of want to hold it there for a second. Okay, so now the knuckle is there, and I can cool it off. And it's still a little bit warm, so I'm just going to put it back in there. And you can see that I've now made a bamboo knuckle, and it starts to solidify back up pretty quick. And I just dip it in water. You can pour water over the top of it, and all we're trying to do is just get it to cool back down so that it solidifies up. And it's okay. You can see that it's shifted a little bit, and that's all right. But now it's hardened back up. I can't move it anymore. And come in close and take a look at this. See how that's split right on all of the scoring? That's gold. You just love that because it gives it a nice, good look. And you can see right around the knuckle that it is that it fades to a brown, and then to a light brown, and then back to the white. And we're actually gonna fix that down the road. But so I'm gonna try and do the other knuckle now. And so I'm gonna take just a rag. This is my acetone rag, but it's dry now because acetone dries off really quick. Anyway, I'm gonna just take that and just dry off that PVC, and then we're gonna do the second knuckle. Okay, so I've turned the heat gun back on. One of the things, come in and take a look at this. One of the things about the bamboo, when you cut bamboo, it doesn't make a nice flat top like that. So I wanna kind of warp the ends a little bit so that it doesn't quite look like it's cut PVC. You can see that that end is belling out a little bit. So I'm just gonna, all I'm gonna do is just give it a shape. Okay? Now I can take another file and just take that and just spread it out. Just a little bit like that. Turn the gun off. And I'm just gonna, yep, see, now it's already hardened up. And now you have a tip that's not uniform. It's not a flat cut. You get this nice rounding, kind of a bell shape, like possibly it was going back into another knuckle. It just gives it a better look, I think. And I just like that little, see what that did? See, I've just got that non-uniform kind of a bend look to it. Okay, that certainly looks like a piece of bamboo was cut rather than a piece of PVC. So there's your piece of bamboo. At this point, what I want to do, just so that I can get as much of the black scorchy stuff, I just take a little bit of water and just rub that, because I don't want the burn, the black scorchy stuff. I just don't want that on there. And if you want, if you don't really like the dark burns, you can just take your file and just file off a little bit of it here. And I'm just switching back and forth from the rough file to the soft file. And I'm not trying to make it uniform or super clean or anything else like that. I'm just trying to make it not look so much like I torched it. Okay, so now we've got the ends done. The ends are no longer uniform. They're kind of got that bell look to them. We've kind of scratched off all the heavy dark burns on the knuckles, and I love this knuckle, how it's kind of splitting open. And then we just made a really non-uniform front top end of this one. And so we've got a good piece of bamboo there started. Now we're gonna scorch it just a little bit with the blowtorch. Now the blowtorch is gonna melt this really fast, so you just wanna be very quick on it. And you can see that I'm just gonna take this, you see how I'm just kind of darkening up those scores are actually gonna open up just to kind of darken up that bamboo a little bit and give it more of a natural look to it. You can see that I can kind of stay a little bit longer and kind of give it just a little bit of color there. Super quick. That was less than just a couple of seconds. And now, and it's still really warm, so I'm actually gonna just run some water through it. Okay. Now that's basically the PVC, and that's the bamboo. So I just use bullseye shellac, and it's amber bullseye shellac. You just want to shake it up, and a little bit goes up a long way. You just want to shake it up so that it's all ready to go. So I'm just going to take a little bit. This will come in handy later. This is just a stick that I just stuck in the ground, because this is just going to go right over the top of that, and that's how it's going to dry. So this, I'm just going to take a dab of the shellac, and I'm just going to rub it all over there. The more it kind of adds up, the more bamboo-y it starts to look. It'll take several coats to kind of get it where you want it. So you can throw that on there and just start painting that thing up. Obviously I'm using rubber gloves because I don't like trying to get shellac off my hands. And then you want to get it inside all the little folds of the knuckles. So like I said, normally I would wait a little bit longer to do more coats, but I'm doing this for YouTube. Anyway, there's your piece of bamboo. But there you go. If you like this tutorial, be sure to subscribe below and leave a comment and a thumbs up.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to me.